are live today. I'm getting the stream in the background. We're doing something a bit different. I'm working on some of the art for my model. This is Yume. Just get rid of the. There we go. Clean up that face a little. This is Yume. I am a chimera. Mixed with a bunch of different things. You can see all the different chunks of inspiration and reference that I've got sitting around here. I'm going to work on this a bit for today. No one did respond to the poll I put out, so not sure what game people wanted me to play, so we'll probably pop back into Monster Hunter in a bit. And fingers crossed that I don't get copyright strike for the Nightcore playing in the background. Thought it would be nice to have some actual music since there's not going to be any game audio. And just talking to the void. Get my glove on and get started drawing. Find a way to do this. My setup doesn't make this easy. Never tried streaming and drawing at the same time. This might be a bit scuffed, but one of my streams not scuffed. Just hope my voice is coming through over the audio. This might be a bit scuffed, but one of my streams not scuffed. Why is that not muted? There we go. Where was I? Paint layer 1. Working on the snake tail. I got most of this done. I might work on this. Some fan art of me and That Sticks. They're a fun VTuber. I'd highly recommend checking them out. See their model over there. Where was I? Alright, we're doing the snake head. Is that the right? Am I on the right color? Oh, I'm on the... This doesn't look right. Swear to God, if I drew that whole tail using the wrong... Yep. I drew that whole tail using the wrong color. Oh, well. You know what, we can just... That is incorrect. I mean, I don't need that layer anyways. Just get rid of that. What am I doing? Tail line. Is this what I need? Yeah, this is what I need. I can't believe I drew that entire layer without using the right color. Stabilizer 12. There we go. Always takes a couple tries to get this right. That should be fine. Let's see. No. And the base of the tail should be around here. Pull that out. Pull this in and then up. And how's that? That looks good. This section's a little scuffed. Base of the tail should be here. Follows the flat of the chair. Down. And that is so wrong. Oh, let's see it. Yeah, that's... Oh, and I had all the scales done. Shit. Man. I wish I knew the tool to just swap colors. See if I can bring back the... Yeah, those are the wrong colored layers. Well, this is what Google's for. Let's see if I can figure this out. Let's see. If you shift value... Place a color. Continuous color selection tool. Fill tool. Colorize mask. These are all the old answers. Filter bars, start G-Mic, HVS2. Yeah, I got no idea what I'm reading. This is... Let's try... Let's go to the tail line. If I'm lucky, this'll just work. And I don't need to suffer. Yeah, that's what I thought. Let's not do that. Fill a region from active layer. Fill foreground, background, pattern, continuous region. Fill all regions with a similar color? Nope. Nope. Alright, why don't you work? I love the shape of this, it's just not the line color. Because I'm a fool. I remember I used to be able to do this on MS Paint. How the hell do I do it on Krita? It's a gradient. Colorize mask, maybe? Yeah, that's definitely not it. Make a selection around the area. I just want to do this one thing. So if I've already got a selection made. Filters. Where are my filters? Filter. Adjust. Contrast color balance. HVS adjustment. Aha! This might work. Legacy model, reduce blast preset, edit presets, XML. I've got the advanced color selector up. No, that's not a specific color. Here we go. RGB, hue, saturation. Nope. Saturation values, blue, chrome, nope. Inches, adjustment range, the hue slider. Paint the mask where you want to apply the filter. Okay, that's fine. I just need to get it correct. That 8-bit interchange channel RGB alpha. Last used. Use preset? Nope, that didn't work. Let's try maybe this. No. Okay, I don't think that did what I wanted it to do. Menu bar filter, start G-Mic. Filter, start G-Mic. What the hell am I looking at? Toon HVS colors? Yeah, I don't know what this is. Yeah, I remember back on, like, again, I'm bringing this back to MS Paint because that's all I did back in, like, fucking goddamn, what? I think it was like grade 7 or grade 8 whenever I had free time. I was making, like, those custom Pokemon sprites where you just take the Gen 5 sprites and pick them apart and then smash them back together and adjust all the colors in that and the line art. That was fun. Maybe I should do that for a stream. Find the closest thing to MS Paint and just make custom Pokemon. That'd be fun. But need to figure out how to change this to this. The fact these... I don't know how I missed that these were two different colors. Maybe... I know it had something to do with this. Control... Drop her that. Switch it. Drop her that. And then... No, that's not gonna help. Do that. Okay. No. Aha. No, we want this. No, that's editing the brush. Fill gradients, no. Patterns, no. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Shit. We're on the right color? Yeah, we're on the right color. I know there's a way to do this. And I swear to God I'll figure it out. You know what? Maybe... Okay, maybe not that. Tool, threshold. I just want this layer. Shift to... Yeah, shift for multi-select. I don't think that did what I wanted it to do. Yeah, that didn't do what I wanted it to do. Okay. If I can... Oh! No wonder that's not doing what I wanted to do. That's two different layers. I'm fucking stupid. That's fine. These are selected at the very least. With any luck, we can just kind of brute force this. Yeah, that looks like it's gonna work. I'm surprised this works. But, hey, can't complain. That definitely saved me a lot of time. No, it didn't. Oh well. Scale line. Let's... Magic tool. Let's fix these now. I could also just trace over them. That might be easier. Let's see. Yeah, we're just gonna trace over these. Layer. Adjust this size. Let me get my keyboard out of the way so I can actually put my arms in the right spot. Alright. That is way too fucking big. I need this to get back to the normal value of 12. Are we on the eraser? No. What are we doing? Oh. Right. Selection. Yeah, we're only in this area, that's fine. Alright. Of course, we're just gonna have to deal with this stuff. Oh well. Let's get these scales going. And that looks fine. No. basing the snake tail off of... Just gonna grab the reference here. I believe this is a variable bush viper. I love that scale pattern. Beautiful teardrop-shaped scales. Definitely going to try and do something with that. Also going to add in these details. If I remember correctly, this is a dragon snake. Look at that texture. That is... It's like an alligator. I love it. We're also going to bring in some of one of my favorite monsters from Monster Hunter, some Mizutsune, and put some fluff on the tail. Fluff's going to be like coming along this kind of ridge line between the belly scales. Which now that I'm looking at, I need to adjust this scale a little bit. I'm going to erase part of this, bring that down, and then just... There we go. That's a lot better. That flows a bit more. Once I get these reference sheet done, can't speak. Once I get these reference sheets done, I'm hoping that I can move forward with learning how to animate in Live 2D. And come on. That'll work. Yeah, I'm hoping to learn how to animate in Live 2D to make my own model, but as a backup I've got at least an artist in mind for potential comms in the future, but that's a ways away from now. I'm so busy trying to figure out getting infrastructure in that setup. Set up a link tree today. Almost accidentally bought the paid version. Seems a little scummy on their part that when you start off to make an account, you have to... They start you off making a... I think it's their recommended plan. Either that or I just clicked the wrong thing because I wasn't paying attention, which is also very possible. Come on. No, that's... yeah, that'll work. Come on. There we go. That'll work. Went to college for the arts. As you can see, I'm still not the best at it. Ended up dropping out. Shocker. But after that, I moved out to St. Cat. Moved out of town. Went to live with some friends for a while. It was a good experience. At least overall. There was a lot of issues that happened during that time, but it's to be expected. You're living with, what was it? There were 6 of us in the house. Like, shocker, 6 people conflict arises. I think overall it more or less all sorted itself out. Yeah, it was during that time. I'm out of college, it's COVID, I don't have a job. I fell into a pretty bad depression. This is just not wanting to angle itself the way I want it to. You know what? That one's good. Come in and touch up all these little corners. See, I stopped drawing for like 3 years, something like that. That one looks good, but it's too far. It's fine. These overextend a little, I can fix that. wasn't until somewhat recently, at least, I started drawing again. I can feel a lot of the skills I developed over the years of like high school and college didn't quite stick as much as I wanted them to. And that's kind of to be expected. If you don't practice something consistently, you can end up losing the skill in its entirety. Which is not a comforting thought. Okay, I need to... wish I knew the buttons to do this. I gotta use the little wheel at the bottom, and it's really awkward to use. And a lot of stuff happened between college and trying to... coming out of high school, going straight to college, not really knowing what the hell I was doing. It was difficult. But things are a lot better now. I have to curve that in there. Erase that a bit there. Perfect. It's just the music. Where was I? Right, I was talking about, I guess, my art journey. So I really did love it in high school. It was the one subject I actually really paid attention to. High school, shocker, wasn't great either. Had a lot of issues with the overall education system in Canada. It's not great. Again, I think it's pretty fucked wherever you go. I mean, not in the same way, but... how in the hell did I manage that? I think I just moved it. Knuckle might have hit the screen. There we go, that should do it. That'll work. Art's been a big part of my life for pretty much as long as I can remember. My dad is an animator. He's worked on a lot of different projects, and I grew up watching the stuff he worked on. Oh, he's kind of stuck with me. I'm not gonna really talk too much about what he worked on. So I don't want to... I mean, I do, but I don't want to, breach privacy and whatnot. Yeah, a lot of what he worked on was a big part of my childhood. To the extent of my sister's childhood as well. He's been in the industry that long. This one needs to be adjusted a bit. Yeah, that should work. Does that look like ass? We'll find out in a second. I mean, kinda. It's fixable. That's what matters. You can get in there and tweak and adjust all the little lines. Yeah, I think it was after I realized just the amount of physicality it would take as a kid to be a paleontologist. That's when I decided I wanted to be into the arts. Even as a kid, I never really liked traveling too much. I mean, motion sickness definitely played a part in that. I remember when I was a really small kid, you couldn't take me somewhere without me throwing up in the car. But my latter years of high school and, to that extent, college really took it out of me when it came to my desire to create. Okay, I was going... Still feel like I'm getting some, like, the repercussions of stuff that should have been dealt with back in high school now. It's like I'm not gonna hide it, I have depression, I'm on antidepressants. And recently found out when I was talking with my doctor that it's like, hey, we're gonna look over your medication here for a sec. Have you ever, like, is this a new medication or what? It's like, no, I've been on this for years now. It's like, alright. And no one's ever discussed increasing the dosage? And no one ever did discuss that with me, and turns out I've been on, like, for the last 5-ish years, 5-6 years, at least for this medication. No, I think it's been longer than that. I think I've been on this shit since high school. Like, turns out I've been on, like, a beginning level dose of that stuff. And it's like, yeah, no, you should not be on that little of this medication with this severity of your depression. Which, you know, in hindsight, makes a hell of a lot of sense. So, they straight up, like, quadrupled my dose, and I've been feeling so much better ever since. Like, talk to your doctors about your meds. Don't like, not take them. They are there to help you for a reason. The brain doesn't always want to function normally, and that's a problem. God knows I'd know that feeling firsthand. I've had most of my medications adjusted, and I was like, I really wish we figured this shit out in high school, because, like, I probably wouldn't be a twice over college dropout streaming to nobody on the internet. Probably be more successful like my sister. She's recently come home from college and has brought back a bunch of her paintings and has given me quite a few of them, and they are fantastic. I love them, they are great, and they also fill me with a deep sense of dread, knowing that I wasted so much time in that, like, pre-high school, college, like, time frame. It's like, I could have used that to develop my skills. I could have used that to become better at the craft I truly love. Instead, I end up with this. And I'm aware there are issues with my art style. I mean, I'm still experimenting. I'm still learning. Relearning, in that case. What was I? Right, yeah. So I've got a bunch of my sister's paintings that need to be hung up. Go out and get thumbtacks for that. For these big, bulky, like, traditional paintings. I can't think of a better way to describe it. You know, the ones on, like, a big wooden frame. That kind of deal. Got a bunch of them. A bunch of lizards and stuff. I think there's a big one that I need to hang in my, my actual room, not my office. So we're gonna put that behind my terrarium for my lizard. He'll love it. doing a lot of work in between streams, trying to get all the little bells and whistles of Yume done. Yesterday I sat down to write like, a bit of... Oh, didn't mean to do that. Bit of like character information. And it ended up turning into a... What, it was like a 10 to 15 paragraph long just lore dump about their backstory. Because my inner D&D nerd can't help itself. Every time I make a character, they just... None of the characters I make are allowed to be happy. It's just the unfortunate truth. So, thank the high heavens you aren't one of my own, and you people aren't, and... My brain's not braining. Just thank God none of you people are my OCs. You would go through some shit. Yeah, this doesn't look right. Right here, that doesn't look right. We can... No, fucked it up. No, what are you doing? Gently pick away at that. Make it a little rounder. And then we just gotta pull... Nope, wrong. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, it's a small nothing detail in the long run of it, but it's there. Just turn your arm back on. And these two fingers have to be over this. So the arm is eventually going to be in front of the body, and I've got to figure out how the hell I'm doing the fur in this area. Just gonna pull up here and just kind of be like a... almost like a mane, in a sense, for the snakehead. Still on the fence of whether or not I might have, like, two versions of the tail, one with the snakehead and one that's not. But for the pose I made, without the snakehead, the pose feels really dumb. With the snakehead, it makes perfect sense. It's like, oh, here they're looking at each other. You gotta imagine that'd be a weird experience. It's like... One of the things I love doing when I make design creatures and characters is... I think I've talked about this a few times on like some Discord servers and that, and in some stream chats. I love the inhuman aspects of Monster Girl characters. Like in this case, we have the digitigrade legs with the extended foot and the... wrong number of toes. I don't think that's the right way to describe it, but you can see it, you get the idea. Long ears, the strange wide mouth with teeth, the dark sclera in the eyes. I love this eye. I am so proud of this. This turned out great. And the flat nose. I was on the fence about this when I started it. It's grown on me a lot. And the horns I love. These are fun to make. I love making horns. Just figuring out the design, the way it's chipped on... Well, not chipped, but like cracked and broken on one side. Brings a lot of asymmetry to the character. So I know in some of the earlier drafts, I had a lot more damage done to the character. Like there was a scar going over the lips. There were holes in the ears. And there was supposed to be more like scarring and that on the hands and legs too. I might go back to that when I'm doing like a full design for the character. It's like there's a lot of small details that just for my own sanity I kinda not necessarily like cut out, but like put to the side. It's like one of the things I tooled around with. It feels a bit late to do it now, but one of the early drafts for this character also had 4 eyes like sticks. It's like, look at that adorable little face. I'm excited to... Oh, Where's my mouse? I'm excited to work on this piece. You can just see how small Styx is there. I don't... She's definitely not in my chat, which is... If you ever see this, Styx, you're small. I could pick you up and lift you. That's why I love... I titled this Styx Uppies. Casually bullying another VTuber online. She's been a great help. She's given me some advice when it came to some odd situations I've been in the space early on. The community there is great. Again, I've said it once, I'm going to say it again. Go follow that Styx. She is fantastic. She deserves all of the support that she's gotten recently. What was I rambling about? Right, inhuman traits. It's like, I've got a lot of different things I've experimented with on the character, and this was a whole ramble that was going into the fact that if you had a second set of eyes on an appendage that you could move independent of your own face, how odd would it be to look at yourself with yourself? Kind of like a mirror, but not a mirror. It's like you're viewing it from both angles at the same time. I can't imagine how odd that would be. Like, it's one of those things. It's like the only way... It's one of those things. You just can't understand. We can't understand. Well, I can't. Somebody else out there who's a freak might be able to understand it because they've got this exact scenario happening to them. But, like, I can't grasp my head around how that would work. And the same idea is, like, you can't think of a new color. Like, you just can't. Like, this is blue, that's black, reds, oranges, browns. Like, maybe the name's not exactly that. And, like, the hex code's definitely not called blue. Actually, looking at it on the stream, this is coming off way more purple than blue. That's fine. It was supposed to be like a silvery blue. I don't mind that purple tone either. Looks a little fucked on the neck, though, because this color on the neck... realize I'm pointing out things on the stream page, not my monitor that's actually recording. This part on the neck looks pretty much one-to-one between the stream and my drawing tablet, but this section is purple instead of blue. Honestly, it just looks like the saturation's turned up. That might be an OBS setting. Oh, hi, Elaine? Am I saying that right? Nice to see you in the chat. I'm currently rambling about stuff, things, character design. And the hypotheticals of if you had a second head that could move independent of your own head and you looked at each other, like yourself with your two different heads, how would that function? Like, what kind of experience would that be? It's like I was saying, you can't think of a new color. It's like, what's it, the mantis shrimp? Mantis shrimp, yeah. They've got something going on with their eyes. They can see colors in a completely different spectrum than us. Which is really cool, but also just absolutely baffling. I don't know how that'd work. Anyways, I'm getting horribly sidetracked. Can't see my layers. My mic's in the way. Okay. We just finished up this. We need to... Snake. I think I'm clicking buttons with my pen and my mouse at the same time, and that's causing issues. I don't like using my mouse to, I don't like using my mouse to draw, and I don't like using the pen to navigate. I'm frequently, like, this is me moving it with the mouse, this is the pen. There's a little speck of something here. There we go. Everything's right-handed, so... it's a little, no, that's the eraser. A little scuffed. we can have a little scuff as a treat. Does that look right? How does it look from a distance? It needs to bulk out a little bit over here. Is that fine? Yeah, it looks fine. I think that's these scales more or less done. Might do a small trace of this skin texture here. I can angle it and figure out how it needs to fit on this. So we're not doing the whole thing. We're gonna do the same thing I did on the feet and all the other scale parts on the main body. I'm still debating whether or not I want to bring in like scale around this part of the arm. Kind of wanna. So I go over the top of the hand up to the the base of the elbow. Probably do that on a different layer and just see how it looks. I haven't done this arm yet, and that would probably be pulled from here and then down all the way. I don't know. Should be like a big pocketed skin on the underarm. So don't need scales on the top. That's the fleshy underbelly. Maybe I just put too much thought into, like, proper biology into how these characters work. We can delete this layer in its entirety. I'm going to rename this one. Here we go. Just block out the colors now and... You know, no, we're going to do that thing I was just talking about. We're going to trace over this a little and see how those scale textures work. Where's my pin? There's my pin. We need you to be a hell of a lot smaller. If we need to change the opacity on this, rotate it so this section sits where I need it to sit. That makes sense. I'm just gotta adjust the size. That makes sense, right? That sizing looks fine. Go just zoom in a little and just kind of... I spelled scale line wrong. Oh well. Alright, where was I? Kind of follow these lines. I don't like tracing too much. There's definitely a place for it, but you shouldn't just trace all of your work. Won't let you develop your skills that way. This is more or less just a way to match the texture. I'm not gonna copy this. Did I change my brush? Nope. Have it set up like this. Bring it a bit further down. So that's more or less the texture. So we'd be making little pockets of like these larger diamondoid shapes. I have to layer into this section here. I also have to figure out how I'm doing the hair. That'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun figuring out how the hair sits. Like, figuring out... Again, the more inhuman aspects. Like, I gave them a mane, I got some hair on the arms, I got some hair at the ankles. So that's inspiration off of, like, the, where is it? The Kieran and the Keelan. I think it's... Keelan? Wheelan? I think it's Wheelan? almost sure I'm pronouncing that right. But either way, they have those, like... It's not even just them. It's like, I think Shetland... Is that the, I think that's the breed of horse that has, like, the tufts of hair, like, at the bottom of its feet. It's a common enough thing in ungulates, which, I mean... Lion, goat, snake. I mean, it's more so to bring in more of the lion aspect, since the snake aspects are definitely overpronounced, and the goat's more or less just in the horns, the eyes, and the nose. But, shocker, I'm fairly biased towards reptiles. I do love them. Let's get this out of the way. Fix the opacity on that if I ever need to look at it again. I'll just leave you there. And let's bring this one down to... Where's my... Oh, I'm already on the tool. Alright, this one's going to be a lot harder to do. This is like the back view, and we've got mostly a side and under view. So this one, I can't just do the little tracing cheat to figure out how the texture sits. For this one, I'm going to have to freehand it, which isn't a huge issue because we're not here for the main scale texture. We're here for this kind of ridge that runs along the underbelly and these two other ridges. It'll help give this a much less flat shape. It's like over here, it's super fucking flat looking. So we can bring that shape in up like that, I think. I'm gonna have to mirror this kind of little wiggle here. Mirror that, and we can bring in these small... Actually, not sure how well that'll come across with the mixture of the viper snake. Scales, the viper scales. So they look to be about the same size. There's no harm in trying. It's not like this is going to be a consistent texture throughout the whole length of the snake. These are. This will not be, though, so... we need a second scale line drawing. Still spelling it wrong. Alright, so we will go to this tool. Stabilized. You can use the stabilizer here to kind of follow this curvature and get this line here. Because this one, it's like a, yeah, this alternating pattern of 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1. This runs along the spine. This run alongside, not quite the side of the body, but a little bit above that. It's like a rounded shape there. Divides the body in almost pentagonal shape. Alright, I've been yapping for too long. Let's try and get this. Should be about here. We can follow this up and it pulls into the main body there. So yeah, that kind of divides this into more of a pentagonal shape. So you've got like the spine, the upper left, the side, and then the bottom. Which means we're gonna have to bring it out here as well. Should come up like that. That looks correct. I think the harder part is getting the spacing on these. If you look at the texture here, I was talking about earlier the repeating 2-1 pattern here. these scales show up on the 2s, which will be a little hard to get put in place. In hindsight, it might have been a bad idea to draw that scale line 2. I probably should have put that on a sketch line. Or we'll dupe it. Where's the duplicate? There we go. Just keep that copy there. What's paint layer 3? I genuinely do not know what paint layer 3 is. Oh, it's the... Why didn't I do this on paint layer 3? Man, this is... my mind's all over the place today. Pardon me. Just having a hard time focusing. Oh, that happens. We can keep that one. We are going to clear this layer. Okay, there we go. So the scale line 2 is now for the scale line. This is just the... I'm going to just call it the ley line. This is more or less just the texture. Probably just play around with this in the transform tool a bit and see how it should sit. So obviously it's going to be a little awkward to fit it in between these two lines. And then figuring out how that sits there. Ugh. Give me a second. Took my meds recently and they make me sleepy. Yeah, hopefully that'll kick in the next couple minutes. Down a bit of a monster. Hopefully that'll keep me awake. Where was I? Alright, we want to follow the spine. Just gonna do it kind of rough and scuffed to start on the ley line. Just get that sketching. Yeah, we can do it on paint layer 3 actually. So, no. We've got to follow, like, the width of this. It's like when it starts pulling in here, we've got to make these smaller because they're not going to be up front anymore. We need to find our start point, I think from over here. Let's try like this. Maybe like that. And then we'll do like a flat and then a wider bump. What's the... How far away are they? They aren't... They're pretty close to each other. So that would make sense. I can kind of point this one up a bit more. Flat. Does that make sense? How does that look? It doesn't look spaced out enough, and it just does not look like it's in the right spot. Let's try more round. You know what? Let's start near the butt. Like this will be a lot easier to figure out the shape of these. That is way too fucking big. Maybe like that. How's the size on that? Small, a little bit too protruding though. We gotta make the angle a bit more shallow. How's that? Yeah, that looks fine. Then, so just kind of looking at these. They have a bit of a shape to them. It's kind of like almost chitinous diamond shape. I guess shark scale. We have a bit of three-dimensional. They aren't just this flat bump. They're a bit more shaped than that. It's like this kind of slight curve, like shark scale. Alternate pattern. Doesn't that just look great? Okay, we're gonna have to erase that, but that's good reference for what needs to be done here. So I like this. Does need to be adjusted. This side's fine. This side needs to change a little. Matte, maybe? So it's got that hint of asymmetry. How do we do this one? I go over here. So if you look here, these kind of angle off to the side. So if we're looking at it from a profile view, these should probably be more like here. And we do that little zoop. That kind of shows that it's at a bit more of a different angle. I'm at least hoping that's tracking. Let's try... That's the eraser tool. Let's try this for a bit. Yeah, I mean, it's a small detail. Might be easy. Well, no, we're not gonna concede on the details here. We got this little sloop there. I need to bring this one over again. We're on the eraser tool again, because I somehow keep pressing that button. Trying to bring in the rest of this to the tip. How does that look? That looks fine. Honestly, they might be a bit small. Oh no, because they're a fair bit smaller than the ones that are going to be on the side. Should have OBS up so I can actually see what the hell's going on. Vibing to Nightcore. I'm really just fingers crossed that this Nightcore mix doesn't get me fucking copyright stricken. It's all the old stuff I remember listening to back in high school when I had my big Nightcore phase. I forget who I was watching that put on Nightcore that made me want to do this. Might have been Styx. Either Styx or Nim. One of the two. I don't think I've really watched anyone else recently. Nah. Oh, there we go. Fix that. Okay. As we do this, we can slowly get a little faster doing it every time. that's... I like that shape. It's like an S and then a curve in. We'll try to mimic that. Oh, that is very wrong. I mean, maybe we'll have to slowly start. Pulling these inward more. I mean, maybe not for a while. Love it if I could just make this repeat and it makes it a lot faster. But do I like it? The more I look at it, the more I'm thinking that's kind of meh. Let's move over here and just try something else for a bit and just go back to these lumps. I feel like it needs to be like here. You know what? That might be the actual issue, is this line here. Huh. Alright, that's... Why is that so far extended? When did that happen? That right there, that's making me think. Didn't like these. They just didn't seem right. This seems right. We're gonna go, where's it? Tail line. Drop the opacity on this. We're gonna try and repeat this. This really does bring in the kind of crisscross that they've got going on. That makes... Oh, no, we're on the wrong layer. There we go. What is this? I don't know what that was, or why that was all the way up there. Must have happened when I was moving the camera around. What are you doing? Stupid, I hate Windows so much. I'm not going to activate Windows. I paid for it once. When I moved my hard drive into a new computer, it decided it didn't want to exist anymore. So I'm not paying for Windows again. If they want me to activate Windows, they can pay for Windows. Let's put on another Nightcore mix. I don't know what's going on here. Alright, back to what's actually important. I want the turning on the eraser. It's kind of like that, and then this. We can adjust the shaping more as we go. But for now, I'm pretty happy with this. This definitely feels better than what I had going on before. I think I like the shape of the other one better, but this has the angles going for it. So it's a little more... It's a lot more scuffed looking, but, I mean... Look at that. That's gross. That's gross looking, but it gets the shape language across, which is what's necessary right now. Just how I'm sitting. Should put like a new chair or something on throne so I can actually get a good one. I bought this one at Costco. It had this back panel that was it's like attached by two silicone joints, and they broke pretty quick. I'm not exactly gentle on my chairs. Sit in chairs a lot. I mean, makes sense. I work at a desk after all. Sitting in this chair can get a bit uncomfortable after a while, and I just have to shift how I'm sitting. Okay, so about here is where we start making this look a little bit flatter while pulling up this piece, because this piece is basically gonna take over. There we go. This section here is going to kind of take this over. I think that'll work. How's that? That is so much better than what I was doing first. Nice lumpy texture. What's going on over here? Nothing much. I got a message from somebody. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't important. Love to put on my normal mix of music, but I know that would get me copyright stricken. Taking a chance on this is like, I can still listen to Nightcore. I still like it a lot. God, I saw it a while back. I can't remember what it was, like where it was. It was a... I don't remember what season of South Park it was, but it was the one where Randy was becoming an alcoholic. It's not day drinking, it's called a wine tasting, and it's classy. I know there was like a trend or something on TikTok. I'm not actually certain on that, I don't use the app. And it was like, oh, it's XYZ song, but pitch shifted and sped up. And no, it's not. It's called Nightcore, and it's classy. Alright, we can work on those side scales. I think I want to move this thing first. Oh god, what did I do? Oh, whatever. No, that's not what I wanted. This is what I want? Yeah, this is what I want. There we go. I just want to get this out of the way while I go and add in the details here. So I think we're going to have to make this smaller. Let's see. Yeah, these are like the same size. We definitely have to make this smaller. Let's do that now. Oh god, we've got the other scales in it. We need to... Oh, shit. Okay, bring... You know what? You're fine there, actually. We'll just shrink you here. By a fair amount. I think that's good. They're still kind of the similar size, but that should be able to differentiate it a lot more. Yeah, maybe a little smaller. How's that? Yeah, patches of these, like, diamond scales to show the texture. I think that'll look good. Just put this way up here so it's not in the way while I'm drawing. I'll eventually figure out how to make this work better for me, but for now, I just have to keep doing it this way. So I can't figure out how to get it to change from that selection to the regular canvas again. There's probably a hotkey for it, and I'm just dumb and don't know it. Okay, let's drop the opacity on the ley line. So, let's see. This scale right here. These are the... So this is the 1, the 2. Okay, that's fine. There we go. How much bigger are these? They protrude a fair bit. I think it's safer to use this kind of design here. Like, that's a fair bit bigger than what's on the back. Yeah, I want to say it's like a 50-ish% increase in size. We'll just start under this one. So if we go